here are my note cards. When people say they study lichens, it is like saying they study vertebrates. That's how diverse and evolutionarily deep they are. This was said by Toby Sprobel, lichen expert based in Montana. Lichen have been around for years, yet they are still a biological mystery to scientists today. Although they're made of 3 different organisms, they are falsely called to be made of 2. To know what was discovered, you first need to know what lichen are. According to the USDA Forest Service, lichen are a complex life form, a symbiotic relationship between a fungus and an algae. Some schools use the sentence, Fred took a lichen to Allison, in order to memorize this. The Fred is fungi, the Allison is algae, and then the lichen is lichen. The relationship is mutualism. They both benefit each other. The National Park Service says that fungi shelter algae, but then the algae feed the fungi. They're a full variety, from color to size to species. They come in all colors of the rainbow and have over 3,600 species. The British Lichen Society says that they thrive on water, but they can survive through dry spells. They absorb water from the air, so during dry spells, they go metabolically inactive. They're slow growing to be able to handle this. The National Park Service says they provide many benefits to the environment, from protecting organisms to providing shelter from the snow, wind, and rain. They may be like other organisms, but they are truly unique and almost like a special snowflake. They are closest to moss, but they are not the same. They differ in basic composition. Moss is a plant and has all characteristics of one, but lichen only have some of the characteristics. The USDA Forest Service says they both have the same habitat. They both live in pretty much any moderate ecosystem. The moss retain water, and then the lichen use this water to live. So they tend to stay together in their ecosystems. They may look similar, so when looking at them, it's hard to tell the difference. They both come in a large variety of colors, sizes, so that makes it especially hard to tell the difference. 150 years ago, the dual hypothesis was formed. The Atlantic says that this hypothesis states that lichen are made of 1 fungus and 1 or more algae. Toby Sprobel proved that wrong. The New York Times says that while he was staying in a camper in Montana, he saw 2 lichen, 1 yellow and 1 dark brown, and then wondered what made them different. They were both made out of the same fungi and the same algae. He brought this idea to John McCutcheon, a biology professor and a close friend of Toby's. They studied the genetic differences and figured out that the yellow had more Basidiomyces yeast. This is a very specific type of fungus. The Atlantic says that this yeast makes up the outer shell of the lichen, so they couldn't find it, yet it was in plain sight. It took 5 years to locate it. Toby ended up using a Walmart laundry detergent in order to take off this yeast and see the location of it. It was really hard to find, but they ended up finding it in the end. Right now, scientists are unable to grow this artificially in a lab, but the yeast may be the key to being able to grow lichen. The yeast is not based on the environment, but on the specific species of the lichen. So when scientists try to recreate the lichen in the lab, they need to focus on the specific species they want to make, not what habitat they're doing it in. Though they're thought to be made of 2 organisms, Toby Sprobel proved lichen to be made of 3. This breakthrough changed studies of lichen, but there's still more to learn in order to be able to recreate them in a lab. They are still a mystery and will continue to stay this way. They are truly a unique relationship, and discoveries will be made about them for years to come and go.